The views expressed are solely those of the speaker and not necessarily those of Paltalk.com, AVM software, or its advertisers.
News Talk is on. News Talk Online is a production of Paltalk.com, the largest multimedia interactive program on the internet with more than 4 million unique users on demand on iTunes and on YouTube. And on my blog, GaryBaumgarten.com, where you are more than welcome to post your comments, whether you agree with me or not. And I'm I'm so thin-skinned because lately there have been so many comments just attacking my point of view on things. It's just, it's horrible. And thanks to our good friends at CRN Digital Talk Radio, we're syndicated to 12 million additional households. I am your host, Gary Baumgarten. Welcome to the show. I'm joining you live from the hippest downtown area in the United States, Red Bank, New Jersey, on the bank of the Navesink River. That's why it's called Red Bank, because I guess it's like Georgia. Originally, the mud here was kind of reddish in color. At the Downtown Cafe, where they have live music 7 days a week, both upstairs and downstairs. Is a great place to be. Good place to get a soda pop. By the way, it is soda pop. That's all I would drink at the Downtown Cafe, I swear. And to my right, your left, I want to introduce you to Joe Hughes and Danny Rongo. They are the lead singers of the group Goldenseal, who you will have the opportunity to hear play in just a couple of moments. And why we are doing this interview in Red Bank is because we met right here in Red Bank, guys. You guys were playing at the 2008 Red Bank Jazz and Blues Festival, which is really the premier jazz and blues festival in the United States. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't know it exists, but we're going to do whatever we can to change that. But around here, everybody does know. All the musicians hang out here. This, by the way, is the home turf of Max Weingarten and Springsteen, and Bon Jovi lives a couple blocks from here.
Right across the river.
Right across the river, actually. We can look out the back window and see Bon Jovi's house and that. And I couldn't believe it because my son Daniel and I always go to the festival every year since we've lived out here. How many years have we lived in this area, Daniel? 12 years. How long has the festival been going on?
Close to 20 now.
Yeah. 20.
Yeah.
So I've been going more than half of the time that the festival has been around. And we were walking around and we heard you guys playing. And we sat down to listen to your wonderful job playing the blues. And you played a song that just caused everybody's heart to stop, Streets of America. It's a song that you wrote.
Yes.
And it tells a story. And the story is about our returning veterans. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's funny because at the time that I wrote the song, first of all, I have to give my wife credit because she said, Joe, you have to write a song about America. Mm-hmm. She gave me the concept for it.
Right.
And at the time, America was getting beaten up a lot in the press.
Right.
And I was just like, I love the streets of America. Mm-hmm. I love this country, and a lot of people identify with America.
Right.
And then I was just thinking, how cool would it be if we talked about some of the streets and so forth? And then it was funny because when I wrote the hook, which is basically, I love the streets of America, I live on the streets of America, eventually what happened was, when we found out about VetWork and we realized how many veterans are homeless.
Yes.
1 in 4 or 1 in 3, depending on which statistics you look at. It's amazing because these are folks who serve the country and love the streets of America just like us and are defending the streets of America, and they live on the streets of America. So it was even deeper at that point. Originally it was kind of a general song about how you love America and the streets and it's exciting, and it was basically trying to get people enthusiastic about America and saying, you know what, we are, America, and we are all bound together as people because we all live on these streets. And then later on, when we released the record, I came up with the idea to dedicate it to our troops because we think about them every day, and we worry about them. We realized how important it was to look at the hook of the song to say, I love the streets of America, I live on the streets of America, and how many of our veterans are living on the streets of America. That's when we came up with the idea to try to help out VetWork And this is an amazing organization down in Ocean County, and what they do is they support homeless and disabled veterans when they come back from overseas.
And we're going to be talking to another Joe Arata, who is the president of the organization. A little bit more about that in a few minutes. But Danny, I want to ask you, a lot of us, and it's a psychological thing, I'm not knocking anybody for this. When you see a homeless person on the street, you tend to look the other way. You don't stop and think about the fact that that guy or that woman might have been over in Iraq, might have been over in Afghanistan, might have been in Vietnam. We were just talking before the show about, we were focusing on the Iraq and Afghan vets, but boy, there are a lot of my generation out there who are homeless or underemployed, who gave service to our country in Vietnam. We don't stop and think about the fact that this is somebody who at one time was marching off to war. The band is playing, the flags are flying, the balloons are being released. We're all so proud of them, and then we forget about them sometimes when they come back.
And it's like what Joe just alluded to earlier. Chances are, if you do pass any homeless man or woman on the street, based on the basis of the stat that you're reading, every one or out of three, or every one of every four people have served this country. So when you do pass that homeless person on the street, chances are he or she served, put on a uniform to fight for our freedom, everyone here. And when you it's human nature sometimes it happens to me too, and I try to catch myself when you just walk past. If you can take the extra second to say, hey, just reach in your pocket sometimes, that's really, that's a bare minimum. But if you could do even that, if you happen to find out that the person is a veteran, Joe's going to tell you shortly, we say absolutely the best thing you can do to any veteran is to reach out, shake their hand, and say thank you.
Right.
But that's the truth. Chances are, if you pass a homeless person on the street, sleeping on the sidewalk, chances are they served our country.
Or sleeping in the woods. We're going to get to that in a little bit, too.
Yeah, in a box.
Did you know that there's my son saw, and it's kind of ironic, because it's right near U.S. Naval Weapons Station Earl. And right. For those who are unaware, Earl is where they take the munitions and they load them onto our warships before sending them out into the